So Google Nano Banana Pro dropped last week, and it's the first AI tool besides ChatGPT that I genuinely believe everyone should be using as we move into 2026. I'm talking high-end YouTube thumbnails in seconds, professional restaurant quality menus from a click of a button, and cinematic consistency for AI film and video creation. But that's not even 1% of what this AI tool can do. Nano Banana Pro isn't just an image generator. Everyday people with zero design experience are now creating professional level work that used to require expensive gear, complex software, or having to pay hundreds if not thousands for a designer to create it for you. And here's why it matters. Normal people are discovering new use cases every single day, things that can turn into side hustles, new income streams, or even ways to just save you money and time. Like how I used Nano to create professional high quality menus for local restaurants in my area in the matter of minutes. Here's how I did it. So the first thing I did was go on Google to find these local restaurants. I grabbed screenshots of their menu and fed them into ChatGPT so we could read everything. ChatGPT then gave me clean, ready to use prompts specifically designed to generate menus using Nano Banana Pro. Now, once I had the prompts, I took them straight to Higgsfield, which is the platform I'm using to access Nano Banana Pro for all of my generations. And that's because it gives me access to other top AI tools that I'll be using in this video. Link to get there will be in the description. So when I click on image, I can select Google Nano Pro as my image model, and I can change the aspect ratio to 3:4 for a more portrait style look. Because the new model has improved text accuracy, it no longer generates any typos or glitches. So when I entered the prompt and generated the image, every item and price was perfect on every generation. After I generated a few variations, I saved them and sent them to each business through their social media. Now the first two left me on red, a lot like my dating life back when I was 18. But one place actually replied to me. A place called Mr. Hot Spuds, which is actually a food truck. The guy that owns it said the designs looked awesome, but then he told me he was actually in the middle of updating his menu items that very same day. So I said, that's cool, send me the new one, I'll redo it for you with the updated menu. I also asked him what style he liked from the ones I sent, to which he responded the graffiti one, which I thought that was kind of cool. So I went back, generated fresh variations in that style, and even made landscape variations so he had multiple options to choose from. After sending it to him, he came back to me and told me he liked the very same one that I actually liked. But there was a typo in one of the words. Now I thought initially this was Nano's fault with the generation, but when I double checked it, it was actually the prompt that was given by ChatGPT and not Nano. So I gave that specific image back to Nano and I asked it to change one of the letters to an A instead of an S, and it did it with literally no problems. But before I sent it back to the food truck, I generated a few more generations in that style, and I also created him a new profile photo using his character as a reference because I really wanted to do something nice for this guy. But after I sent them, he didn't actually respond, but I'm sure he's grateful and I'm confident he will use them. Either way, I'm just glad I was able to spread some positivity and awareness for what AI tools can do. Now, another example I use Nano for is creating high quality YouTube thumbnail. Everyday creators, including myself, struggle with thumbnail creation. You gotta take multiple photos whilst posing awkwardly, and then you gotta figure out how to use Photoshop. It's a whole mission in itself. But with Nano Pro, that entire workflow disappears. Now you just upload one selfie, type one prompt, and it builds the entire thumbnail for you in seconds. So I've been using this exact workflow on the original Nano Banana Pro for months. But the jump in quality and accuracy with the new Pro model is on a completely different level. Now I also tested a bunch of different variations that also came out really good. Here's what they look like. Take this thumbnail I created for my AI music cover channel that I have. Now what I did is I grabbed the prompts that were used to generate the thumbnails using the old Nano model and fed them through again using the new Pro model. Here's the difference in results. The next thing Nano Pro is amazing for is infographics. And just like thumbnails, these aren't easy to make, especially if you have no experience. But with Nano Pro, you can generate clean, high detail infographics from a single prompt. Here's the workflow that I use. I start by generating the final frame of the chart or graph, and then I save it. And then I give the final frame to ChatGPT and ask it for the start frame of the shot. Grab that same prompt, head back to Nano and generate the first frame. So now you have the start and end frame of this infographic. Then I give both frames to the Kling 2.5 video generation model. And after a minute or so, it generates this really cool transition in between shots. And here's a few other infographic examples I generated using that exact workflow. Now, if you're an AI film creator or you're interested in maybe doing that in the future, scene and character consistency is very important when generating your shots. So take this image I generated of this house. What if I want different angles? Well, let's grab that image, give it back to Nano and ask it to generate different shots from different angles. Now, what about if I want shots for different times of the day? Let's grab the same shots and ask Nano to generate it for us. Now, what if I wanted to change the weather of those very same shots? Well, we can do the exact same thing and ask Nano to generate it for us. Now, what if we want to generate inside of the house? Let's grab one of the images and ask Nano to do that for us. And now we have a living room shot inside of the house. Now, what if I wanted to generate a character into this shot? Well, first I'm going to generate this full body shot of me using a selfie and a prompt. Now keep in mind, the character's clothing should change as your story or your film progresses. So let's grab that image and ask Nano to generate the character in different outfits. Now we can use those images and combine them with the shots inside of the house. And here's what we get. But what if I want different angles of those shots? We can grab those images and ask Nano to generate different shots. Now keep in mind guys, the results you just saw were not perfect, but these were all first attempt generations. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there guys. I hope this video did inspire you to start using this tool. If you want to learn more about AI content creation, be sure to like this video and make sure you subscribe. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.